That is a lot of levels, yeah.
That is a lot of levels. A lot of levels.
Jem, how's your ping today? Is it pretty bad?
It's fine.
Oh. Okay. Just wondering. No reasons. Did you get enough sleep last night? Still tired from Hey, oh, Jem, no! Jem, no! Jem, no! Jem, no! She didn't! Jem! Whoa! Dethroned. Oof. He's really fallen off. Man. Yeah, I probably deserve that. Oh, good. Little bit of time at the gold farm and we'll be back up in no time. But check this out, guys. I just logged in and wow. These buildings have literally popped up overnight. I have no idea how Bdubs does that. Just he whisks in the middle of the night while everybody's sleeping and just builds multiple buildings over there. We'll get a deeper look at that a little bit later. I want to meet up with him and discuss next steps. I have an idea for something I want to build over there, and so we're going to coordinate that as we do everything in the cyberpunk city this season, including this. I had a little conversation with him about an idea that I had for this shop right here. Welcome to Market Street. Feel free to...
Market Street, of course.
Somewhere there's got to be a place where you can hook them up.
That's perfect. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And they can
Wonderful.
be besties.
Okay.
Look, they're already getting along.
Back to business.
Back to business, yeah. So this is Market Street, right?
Yes.
Hustling and bustling market
So cool.
center of, well, it's not really the center of Cyberpunk City. It's kind of tucked in the back corner. You got to work your way to it if you want the good stuff, you know?
Sure.
That's the idea. But yeah, I want this to be a little bit more alive, and I built this building. As you saw, thank you so much for the encouraging.
Yeah, I saw out of the corner of my eye. I didn't spoil. Oh yeah.
It made me feel so good about what I'm. My confidence is rising, Bdubs.
Good.
This whole building
Fantastic.
thing.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks to all you spreading your knowledge and skills. So
Of course, yes.
okay, got buildings now, but the buildings it's a
Yeah.
market street, so which means they gotta be here for something, right? They gotta do something, provide a service,
Right.
sell something, you know.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm envisioning, right? I want to have something going on inside here.
Yeah.
And you know what came to mind? Snips. What do you think?
Okay.
Could you imagine if you look through the window and there's some people in here, cyberpunky people? Because look at us,
Yeah.
man. Like, we got to get our tips frosted from time to time, stuff like that.
That's right. Yeah.
So what do you think about kind of doing a little throwback to Snips? Not saying we one-to-one, copy it. Maybe we could change
Yep.
things up, make it a little more cyberpunky.
I have. Yeah.
You think that would work?
100%. It's not snips. It's not hair. It's
Ooh.
it's prosthetics. It's
Oh.
metal prosthetics. I mean, it could be hair too.
Kind of like the
you know.
side of my head, how that's got a little
Yes.
thing, implant
Yeah.
of sorts.
Yeah. Or
Ooh.
redo skins to have like half robot eye or robot arm
Oh
or
my
something like
goodness.
that. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's why I called you over. I knew
Come on
you'd
now.
big brain this. I knew you would
Come on.
big brain this and turn an
Yeah.
idea from good to great. That's what you do.
What did they call that in Cyberpunk? It was something.
Cybernetics.
Cybernetics.
Right?
It's a cybernetics shop.
That's it. Cybernetic enhancement.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Come on now.
Oh, I love it. Cyber snips. That's it. That's what's got to go on
Dude,
in
it
there.
could still be called snips.
Yeah?
Because you're snipping off
You're
body
snipping
parts.
off body parts. Okay. Yeah, that's normal.
Or whatever you want to call it. But I think that's going to be such a cool idea.
Oh, we could decorate it. We could get custom models.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay. That's what we got to do.
Opens up some big possibilities, that's for sure.
Okay. Now I want to just pump the brakes a little bit and let this, you know what I mean? Let this marinate.
Let it simmer.
Yeah. So that we can do this up and like really make it cool. I don't want to start throwing blocks in willy-nilly right now. I want to like really think this through and make this a centerpiece of the market.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's a great idea.
Oh, I love it. I am so excited to work on this shop with Bdubs. We're going to do amazing things. Cyber Snips or whatever we end up calling it is going to be fantastic. But I've been out here looking at this. You see, I added a little bit more detailing here. I really like trapdoors. I hope I don't overdo them, but I think they look super cool. But I've been looking at this and starting to get a little bit worried because we've got a lot of space to detail or at least make a cyberpunk look in. And I am still kind of learning the style, right? So I'm kind of like searching around on YouTube and seeing what's out there and trying to get some inspiration from that, which you know, typically do when you're going through the process of learning something new. And what I found was a couple names kept popping up. A AdieCraft and a SirDerpol. In fact, SirDerpol, we did this banner, was their design. So they actually reached out to me when they found out I was doing Cyberpunk and said, hey, it would be cool if we could show you some of the things we got in a one-on-one session. So you know what? I met up with both of them and they showed me around their creative worlds. Check it out. You guys were gracious enough to invite me here to show me around some of the builds that you have done and help me get some even more inspiration. So yeah, this is gonna be great. Just a little show and tell, and I'm hoping it will spark some ideas on things I could possibly use in the cyberpunk city on Hermitcraft.
Yeah, sure. So one of the key things is, so I've used quite a lot of big lettering on the side of buildings. In terms of filling things up, there's lots of really quite cool Minecraft fonts that you can use and just add quite a futuristic look to some of the buildings, and you find that I certainly found that you get some quite big blank spaces, particularly if you're using some of the darker colors. So it's a great way to light some of the things up. So just any words, but I found that similar to some of the stuff Joel's doing, some of the Japanese words seem to just work. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's got more of a oriental style going throughout his cyberpunk than I do. I was going to ask, like, when you do letters like this, do they typically mean something, or is it more random, like this Ryu?
Yeah. I just literally I'll pick a word that I think will look cool in the font. Is generally the secret behind the curtain there. But yeah, it doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't need to mean anything. But like obviously, if you just find something that you've got that's got a cool look to it. So I've used data on this big sign here, just because data and cyberpunk on this big glass one as we head through here.
I really like the framing of this with the end rods and the trapdoors. This one I could see hanging off of one of the buildings that I've already done actually, and would look really good.
Trapdoors are your friend for sure. Just because they add. So here you can see that you've got the I think it's blue terracotta, but it just adds that extra little lip before you get to the lighting. So it's just when you're passing it, seeing that extra bit of depth makes a big difference to the builds.
My favorites are all of the redstone blocks. They're like, if you look at some of the builds that are in my cyberpunk world, it is covered in redstone. Especially, I think observers is probably my favorite.
Yeah,
but I was just
he's holding.
I use pretty much all of them.
I got some tall buildings coming up and just a lot of blank sides and stuff that get really tall, and I need to figure out how to break it up, right?
Yes.
So even like this bit that you did here, you've got this kind of tall kind of pillar right here, but you kind of jetted it out with the cyan concrete, the glass, the shroom lights behind it, and that make it so much more interesting than had it just been one flat surface all the way up.
Yeah, and layers. So if you've got stripes and layers was something that I found with building these, and I kind of had the impression that a cyberpunk build is something that's kind of built up over a lot of time. So people have added things to it. So where you've got the bits that jut out, it's kind of somebody's just come and added this extra little bit to the building. I think you've done that really well in your latest one, where you've got like the different bits. But the more bits that you just smush together and more different styles, it actually works really well in cyberpunk. So when you're looking at this, you've got some windows, and there's only what 6 windows in the entire wall, but it doesn't look empty because you get drawn to the wording and the pipes and the lettering, so you can focus people's attention without needing to, in survival at least, do too much work as well, which is always a win for any Minecraft builder.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially when I got like a giant skyscraper to build. I'm trying to figure out, like this is all well and good. Like I could do a couple letters on certain parts, but as it expands up, maybe 100 blocks in the air, what can I do to make it interesting all the way up? Is my concern right now.
Actually, this over here was probably the biggest skyscraper that I did whilst I was building these. And where you've got vertical letters, you can supersize them.
Oh yeah.
So where we said the different fonts, we've got the coloration of them. Again, you've got more blocks now. You can use tough blocks. You can use the copper blocks. But I always did love the orange and the grey. They just go together so well. Yeah, and windowsills as well. Windowsills are great again to give that extra layer of depth, because anything that as you're transitioning past the building, your eye just picks up different glimpses of color as you move past.
Thank you for showing me around. I'll put a send me a link to send people to that where they can see more of your stuff. Be happy to send them both your ways, obviously, SirDerpol and AdieCraft. Check the description, everybody, and go give these guys some love, because you guys are doing amazing stuff, and I appreciate all the help you're giving me as I'm doing my research, trying to get better at the cyberpunk craft. That was a super fun visit with AdieCraft and SirDerpol. Learned a lot from them. Got a lot of ideas for some things that we could do to continue adding to the cyberpunk vibe, and more importantly, some great ideas on how to build up this skyscraper and still keep it interesting and less flat and plain. So yeah, thank you, AdieCraft. Thank you, SirDerpol, for having me and showing me around. And also that we hung out for like 2 hours. I spent an hour or so in AdieCraft's world, another hour or so in SirDerpol's world, and we saw a lot. So if you guys want to see a little bit more of that footage, AdieCraft, I believe, is putting together a little bit longer of a video to see some more of that over on his channel. I'll put a link in the description. You guys can go and catch more of the tour if you like. Then I just realized something. Even though I went around and made all of this spawn-proof, now that Bdubs and I are building up some more buildings, we probably haven't done a good job making sure every inch of those are mob-proof. So I gotta watch my back now walking through the city. But I want to get a better look at this. And in fact, I think I want to talk to Bdubs because I have an idea. Bdubs!
There I am.
And there you are. What's up, man?
Not much.
Not much.
Are you recording right now?
I'm gonna, yeah, or I was, but I didn't know when to start. I had to kill some creepers first. I made darkness over there.
Oh, okay. So this is the start then, right here, right now.
Yes, this is a professional YouTuber collaboration clip starting up.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Bdubs. You're probably, maybe the reason why this wasn't such a flawless opening to this clip was because you might not have slept in a few days, it seems.
Yes, I didn't sleep. I did the no sleep Minecraft thing.
How? Do I go to bed, I wake up, and you kept your promise about the 7 buildings or whatever that you told me you were going to do, but I honestly didn't think you'd pull it off. And
I didn't think I was going to pull it off either. It's crazy, man. There's not many things in my life where it's like, all right, I'm dedicating 32 hours in 2 days to this thing and enjoy it.
Wow. And you
but
did.
I loved it. It's special Minecraft game, but also special concept idea that you have that I'm very excited about.
Yeah, I was looking at this and first of all, I love this idea, putting vehicles in the street.
Yeah.
That really starts to give us that like claustrophobic, there's a lot going on, right? You squeeze tight. right? Like
Yes.
you would be in a cyberpunk. So that was brilliant there. But also I noticed
thank you.
power lines. I would have
Power
never thought.
Yeah,
I would have never thought of doing power lines, and they look fantastic.
they really add something, don't they?
Yeah. And you got all the buildings hooked up, I see, like getting their
Yep.
own line of power. But
Yeah.
where are they getting the power from, Bdubs?
To infinity and beyond.
It just kind of ends right here in the abyss.
Yeah.
Yep. So it got me thinking.
Yes.
If you don't have plans for this space right here,
I don't.
what if I made some sort of power generator, like you know what I mean, like a reactor or something that generates power for the city, and then
You
we
know
could
what?
hook right here to your power lines. Would that work?
That would make the power lines make sense. Yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic idea.
Look, man. Look, I hung out with AdieCraft and SirDerpol, and they told me
Oh yeah.
they told me the secret to just make every building have a purpose and make everything have a purpose. You know what I mean? Not just from a lore standpoint, but kind of makes sense. And so it wouldn't it, if we had some sort of power plant right here that kind of just tied into the electrical, and that's what's giving all the buildings their lighting and stuff. You know, not so much lighting over here; they can't afford it. These are the slums.
No, just
But-
dim light.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, they get a little bit. You know, we'll give them a
Yeah.
little bit of power.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like I need to. I just built that over there, but after seeing you pop up like 7 buildings overnight, I could do another one. I can do one right here, and
We're
we
build addicted.
yeah, exactly. I'm just getting excited, man. Like you can start to see skylines come together and starting to see just the vibe coming together. I mean, you name the streets. Like I said that was Market Street or whatever, but I didn't actually put up signs. You went as far as making the signs. That is super cool. I opened up my Minecraft instance today and I logged in and I saw all this and I said, you know what? I'm not going to go over there and investigate yet. Not until I have a chance to talk to you, because
Okay.
so I really, this is my first peek at you detailed a lot.
Yeah. It's not full detailed, and maybe it doesn't all need to be full detailed. That's what I want to get it in, and then we start feeling it, and then start to see, okay, what else should we do?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. This is so cool. Oh man,
And
what's under this garage? I gotta know.
you'll never know. You'll never know. Blocked off. Please never. Well, I have to apologize. You used to have copper.
No. Oh, you did. Did you do trapdoors? Did you do copper trapdoors? Did it rob you
kind
blind?
of scaffolding catwalks that go back and forth. They're trapdoors.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
32. That's
Oh,
32
these are cool.
trapdoors.
These are cool though, man. I like the idea of being able to traverse building to building from a different
what I was
height
thinking.
other than street level. That's really good.
Yeah, we'll poke some holes in it and stuff so that you can go back and forth and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably add that on to the building I do then. A little up there kind of crossing. That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
All right. Well, so you're good. You don't have anything planned for that spot right there. I can do the generator building.
Yeah. Please go for it.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to wait any longer, man. I'm going to do it like right now. And building complete, this time with details and everything. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, and by the way, I did fix the fan if you caught that in the time lapse. I missed a piece. It was so tight in there that I just didn't see that piece missing. But look at this. This is one of the coolest builds I have ever done. And of course, you know, me being so scared to build next to Bdubs because he's so good at what he does, I made sure to get a little bit of help from him to make sure it was going to fit in. And him and I, we just spent hours upon hours in creative. I was kind of just like designing the shape of it, and he was helping me with some of the texturing and adding bits and bobs. Like he came up with the idea for this fan, which is absolutely brilliant, and some of the extra details and stuff. So thank you, Bdubs. I have learned so much from hanging out with Bdubs, hanging out with SirDerpol, hanging out with AdieCraft this episode. And yeah, this is one of my favorite builds I've ever built. Such inspiration from those around me, and just trying to pick up as much as I can. And I think it's come a long way. I mean, from our initial build, and I knew this was going to happen when we started the season, that I was going to learn as I went. So I put that building way back in the corner so we could kind of like bury it almost in the corner of the city, because I knew we were going to get better as we went. And now we actually have a building we can be proud of right here in what will be the entrance to the city. If you guys haven't seen Bdubs' video, I mean, look at this view right here. This is just insane and is only going to keep getting better and better. So didn't do the inside of the building yet. I'm going to do probably a special door right here. This is actually going to be where the people come in, any of the hermits that come in and want to play the game that we eventually will have up and running. This is like the starting point of it. So they'll come in here, and inside this building, it will explain what the game's about, and all the stuff will turn on for the game to start. But I'm going to keep that closed up for now. We worry about the interior design later. But yeah, I am very, very happy with the way this turns out. In fact, there's a little thing I want to do in this corner. There's a couple things I'm not done with, actually. We've got to do a little bit in the window there. I got an idea from SirDerpol when I was hanging out with him. And also, as you can see, this is supposed to be the generator building that's like somehow passing electricity to the rest of the city, right? Maybe it's a substation number 5, maybe. This was also Bdubs' idea to put the number on the building. And yeah, so we need to actually hook up the power lines. So I think I'll do that next, and then I'll add that extra bit in these windows. Something fancy there, but look at this. In fact, let's go on top. The roof actually spent a long time, maybe too much time, working on this roof. And yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on up here, and no one's ever really going to see it unless they're flying over, which is kind of funny. You guys like my oblong fan there? Anything works in cyberpunk land, right? Like maybe in the future. Look at this little redstone torch inside the pot there. Perfect. And then, of course, some little fake fans on the roof as well. With this being a generator building, obviously it's going to need some vents. So we've got the roof fans, and then, of course, this big one on the side here, which is super cool. And I think I've done it. I mean, yeah, I was terrified to build next to Bdubs, but I think this fits. It is a little more kind of clean and modern than some of the more slum style builds he's doing, but this being kind of a more government building, more corporate building that's going to supply electricity to the city, I think that's okay. I think this works out. All right, so here's the trick I was talking about that I learned from SirDerpol, just to get a little more animation in here. And you know, if this is a generator building, I want to see stuff moving, right? Like electricity being formed somehow. And this is perfect for it. So basically, this is just using the auto crafter and the fact that in the corners here, when you power these, they light up. And if we put 4 corners together and then light them up in a circular motion, it creates this little movement happening. And I did this one, it's going that way, and this one's going that way, just to give it a little bit more of a flair. And it does require some redstone, which the lag will be fine. If it does start to add up, of course, we can always turn these things off. In fact, a lot of times when I log out and log back in, this stuff will unload and stop working anyway, like kind of like the lights that are flashing on the building back there. A lot of times they just turn off. Happens to be running right now, but yeah, a lot of times they'll just turn off from chunks unloading and stuff like that. So that's why I put this note block over here, so I can just smack this if we want to start this back up. All right, I'm looking at this, trying to figure it out. I need to connect those lines, and I need to make a turn, and that's where it gets difficult with these chains, is anytime you make a turn, you don't really have a good connection here. You can see how it's kind of got like a gap, and that might be okay. I think we're just going to have to be okay with that in this case, because the other option is to put some sort of block in there to make it make sense to kind of like turn. Which I might do. There, he looks like Bdubs used some smooth stone blocks, which kind of works. The furnace there kind of works as well. And then we need a way to attach it to the building. So I'm gonna grab a few things and I'll go up there and hopefully we can make something seem like it's actually spitting out all the electricity into these lines that go throughout the city. Okay, yeah, I think that will work. We just had to add a little unit on the side that looks like it could potentially be spitting out the power. I did have to put up another power pole just so that we could kind of make that turn. I really couldn't get it to work any other way, especially since there's like so many wires coming. We needed to consolidate them somehow and then bring them over to the building that way. And I think that works. I think that looks pretty good. But now we have a bare pole here, of course, and it looks like Bdubs has done some decorating on all the other poles. So I thought maybe this could be a good one for like a welcome to the cyberpunk city. But then I realized we don't have a name yet. I haven't come up with a name for this city. So that's something I need to get thinking about. Would love to hear any ideas that you guys have. Go ahead and drop them in the comments below. And yeah, maybe we'll get a cool name for the city and we can start putting up some signs and maybe some graphics around the city with whatever that's related to. But oh, I am very, very happy with this build. I think it looks spectacular. Let me know what you guys think. But there is something else I want to show you before we end the episode today. I've been working on some other little bits and bobs on live streams, and I want to show you one thing that I built inside my storage room. I realized I was making a lot of trips going back and forth to my furnaces that are over there and the cauldrons filled with lava, and I decided to redo the ceiling here. And if you listen, you can hear some bubbling, which is going to annoy me, I think, a little bit. But all that is we have a lava feed on dripstone up above these cauldrons. So these cauldrons are actually filled up with lava. In fact, if my inventory wasn't so crazy right now, I could get a bucket and demonstrate. Let's see here. Yeah, so if I pick any random one, bang, yep, there's lava in there. And I can take that lava and I can put it in here. And this is where we can get a fuel for a smelterator. And anything we want to actually cook, we can put into this barrel. And all the outputs from things that are getting cooked will end up in here. And so up here, I've got a system that I put together. So basically just sending, oh yeah, I'll go up this ladder, sending all the materials up here. It's pretty tight in here. Who is that? Is that Joel? Yeah, Joel's out there working on something cool by the entrance. No, that's Skiz. Oh, my goodness. Haven't seen him in a while. Skiz, next episode, me and you, buddy, we're finishing those XP banks. Okay, see ya. So yeah, all this stuff is coming up here and going into this furnace array right here. We've got a minecart that as the items come in, will get distributed across all 8 of these. I didn't go super big. And then anything that's smelted gets delivered back in that chest below. So tuck that in. Like I said, we have infinite lava source right here. And basically what I did was I just filled up every single one of these hoppers with the lava buckets, and anything extra will just get returned. So we can just make sure that we constantly keep the fuel going. And yeah, it's kind of a waste if I'm doing 1 stack to use a whole lava bucket, but since it's infinite, don't really care. So that's kind of nice. I have my smelterator now nice and convenient for me inside here because, yeah, a lot of times I'll need something like glass and I can just grab the sand and I can just throw it in here and get it smelted. And yeah, see that lava bucket I put in? Because it was actually extra, it was full, it just returned that right back to me. So I know I don't actually need any more fuel in the system. And then when I go to smelt stuff, empty buckets will end up in here as well that I can just turn around, grab the lava from these, and put it right back in the system to keep the fuel going. So we're making lots of progress. We got buildings coming along left and right. I got more detailing to do, of course, but the city is starting to get built out. And as you can see, there is still a lot of room left to go. Even though Bdubs and I in the last week have done a big chunk right here, this whole basically quadrant of the city almost, with some space here to do a few more things. There's still a lot to go, and each one of these buildings, for the most part, will have purpose, as I mentioned. So a lot of these buildings that Bdubs are doing will be filled in with some games, some different style games. I already mentioned the dropper game, and more will be announced along the way. In fact, I can probably, now that he's got these shells up, I can probably start to get started on some of these games that we need to develop, which is great. And I think I'll probably let Bdubs do a few more buildings before I tackle another one. I got to get the detailing done on that one. And him and I talked about snips, as you heard earlier, or whatever we end up calling it. I think the detailing of that could get really cool. So I think I want to focus on that. And honestly, we've built a lot. So a nice break from building and a focus on detailing might be the way to go for the next episode or two. So anyway, this is coming along. Like I said, I hope you guys are getting a nice vision of the city. I want to give you this front entrance view one last time because it is absolutely spectacular. And I think this pairing up with Bdubs was one of the smartest things I've ever done because I'm learning a lot from him. And as we get the games in here and stuff, I think it's just going to work out perfectly to make this one of the most fun experiences the Hermits have had in a while. But yeah, as we walk through the city, I think I will wrap things up for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that before you go. And I will see you again next time. Have a good one, everyone.